Okay, the structure faces south. We are on the south side of the west wall of the west gate. We've got perforated soffit baffles. These are the emergency drains for the air conditioning system. This windowsill, okay, does not have enough pitch on it. Does not have enough pitch on it for water to drain away. Brick is very porous. Got a nice little gap right in there. Look at that. Okay, when I come back, I'll get another picture of that. I get it's behind there, but any moisture in the bathroom situation, window situation, any moisture gets in here, go back in these cracks. This window ledge does not have enough pitch on it. Does not have enough pitch to divert water away from the structure. There's a nice little clean out over here. These are lawn sprinkler valve covers. Coming on along, this is the lawn sprinkler weather sensor. Right there. Am I getting it right? It's so bright out here. I hope my camera doesn't overheat. Rain gutters discharged below grade. Moving on along. There's one of our grounds. The water heater is discharged pretty close to the ground. Should be about a 3-inch gap right there. Our sealant, okay. Several of the control joints, sealant is pulling away from the brickwork. Now we got something that's kind of interesting here. Okay, these shingles right up here that are lifting up, that is your air intake. This right here is perforated soffit. That's your air intake. We get over the garage, we no longer have air intake going into the attic space. We need it, so they put these little air vents. I've been seeing these for about the last 3, maybe 4 years. Time gets away from me. So that's kind of a relatively, to my experience, relatively new to my experience with building in this area. So coming along here, we also notice this is a good time as any, that the perimeter of the foundation has been parged with a parge coat. Okay, a parge coat is like cake frosting. Just because the parge coat's cracked doesn't mean your foundation is cracked. And just because the parge coat's not cracked doesn't mean your foundation isn't cracked. It's just an aesthetic. It's like a cake frosting. And it moves and contracts at different rates than the actual concrete because it's different physical properties, which voids will be created behind the parge coat over time. And over time, termites can use that as an opportunity to gain access into your structure. You don't have this much brick wall. I mean, some people do, but we don't have this much brick wall without putting control joints in them. Call it what you will, control joints. We expect it to move. It's just like the joints in the street. Okay, hopefully they won't, your cracking won't be zigzagging, running off and looking crazy and stuff. Hopefully the control joints will absorb most of the movement. We are living in North Texas. This is expansive clay soil. It does move. So, but when sealant dries, it shrinks, it gets hard and shrinks, and it separates from the brickwork. So every year or so, you need to just walk around. When it's time for your 1 year, walk around and look for any gaps. But this doesn't have to wait for the 1 year. We want weep holes in the walls, okay, because brick is porous. It's a very good building material. This home could burn down and you could reuse the brick. It's also a good insulator for sound. It's a good insulator for heat. But it's porous. So when the lawn sprinkler system hits it, when the rain hits it, it goes through the wall. Now it's designed to withstand weather. It's not designed for the lawn sprinkler system to hit it every day, every morning at 6 o'clock, 365 days a year. It's not designed to do that. This is a good example. The brick is a facade. This is a drainage plane. So when the brick goes through the rain goes through the brick, it comes down this drainage plane, okay? Our thermal sheet comes down to the weep holes. Most of the time, all you're going to see is vapor. Most of the time, just vapor comes through them. But, you know, if you have an event, water will come through. But that's by design. These weep holes are by design. This control joint does a different thing. Okay, we got enough water going through the brick without adding weep holes, acceptance reveals at the top of the control joints. Another thing, brick is the only part of your home that will actually grow. You'll never be able to measure it. Your foundation shrinks, you'll never be able to measure that. You'll be able to measure movement, but not shrinkage. And then the parge coat and the concrete floor and the brick all have different physical properties that react just a little bit different along the way to different changes in weather, temperature, and humidity. Okay, so they're expanding and contracting at different rates. Sometimes you'll get some cracks right here on the corner. Some people call them corner pops. Corner pops, corner pops. Call it what you will. But they're shrinkage cracks. And some cracks if it's in the span of a hand. It goes back this way. That might be a termite issue, because termites can use the void to come into the house eventually. You know, it might be a termite issue. It might be a brick issue because it's holding up the brick, but that's not a foundation issue. On. The rain gutters discharge below grade. It's just really nice. I'm not going to have a lot to say about it. We got, I can't really call that spalling, but obviously this driveway needs to be repaired right there. That's not going to support your brick. You do not put some reinforcement in there, those bricks are going to move. Then you're going to have this big old pothole that's developing over here. I told you so. I told you so. Where do termites live? In the ground. Oh. What do they eat? Dead wood. Oh. What's wood mulch? Dead wood on the ground next to your house. That's called a clue. I get it. It's attractive. Everybody likes that. Everybody wants that. I get it. I get that. I got some wood mulch next to my house. And nothing happens overnight. I mean, the structure itself should have been prepped to help prevent termite infestation. But after about 7 years, whatever it is that they put on there, it's going to start breaking down. About 7 or 8 years. And with this wood mulch over here, I told you so. On our vertical trim casement, that's a horizontal trim, vertical trim casement on the garage car entry. By the way, I get carried away. You see how it's nice and snug next to the brickwork over here? See this big old hairy gap right there? Alright, mice. That needs to be filled. I don't know what you're going to fill it with, but rodents will take advantage of a gap like that to enter your structure. Good home inspection. Now a tree shouldn't be placed closer than 25 feet to the structure, to a residential structure. The roots will take moisture out from the ground that's needed to help provide even support around the structure. And right now these trees, this one for example, that's a cute little kitten. But he's going to grow up to be a nasty old tomcat. He's going to grow up in front of your number. He's going to grow up in front of your luminary. He's growing up in front of your window. He's going to grow up to rub against your shutters and rub against your brick and rub against your roof and rub against your rain gutter. And he's just going to make his own way. He doesn't care about this house. That little kitten just wants to do what he wants to do, and he's going to grow up. This is something that, another tree, more wood mulch. Rain gutter downspouts should not discharge directly onto the roof. Okay, well, what's the solution for that? Rain gutter, downspout to this downspout. Will that look ugly? Yes. And roofs in Texas last about 14 years. If you expected 20 years out of this roof, that might eventually cause you some grief. But in the short term, I'm going to call it a deficiency because I know it to be a deficiency. I just don't know what the solution is. I have some other solutions though. Please, bud, tell us. We want to know solutions. Well, I'm going to identify problems and what the issue is. Code says that anytime the roof intersects with a vertical plane, the wall right there, anytime it does, we should have kick-out flashing. See that right over there? That's kick-out flashing. We should have kick-out flashing right there to divert water into the rain gutter. Then from the rain gutter, then it goes down the house. Without the kick-out flashing, there's nothing to really keep it from splashing against the brick. Brick is porous. Water will go in there. Yes, it was designed. We know it's going to leak, but not for all this water to come down here in this one spot. It wasn't designed for that kind of a bead.